just became a conversation about how many different ways there are to be of Latin descent. Do you speak the language? Does it matter?
Does it matter?
Do you eat the food? Does it matter?
Congrats. They'd stooped to a whole new level of low.
It's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
Where do you come from?
The people were angry.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Disney's live-action Snow White has quickly become one of the studio's most controversial projects, igniting fierce debates over casting choices, creative decisions, and a growing list of political controversies. Rachel Zegler's bold remarks about the original story and her public feud with co-star Gal Gadot have only intensified the drama, leaving fans sharply divided. As major changes to the beloved classic take center stage and off-screen clashes dominate the headlines, the big question remains: can Disney recover from this mess, or is this remake doomed to fail? Let's dive into the chaos. Rather than being the nostalgic revival Disney had hoped for, the live-action Snow White has turned into a lightning rod for controversy. This remake highlights Disney's growing struggles to reconnect with an audience that has become increasingly vocal and disillusioned with the studio's recent choices. At the heart of the backlash is Rachel Zegler, cast as Snow White, whose public remarks following the release of the trailer have sparked widespread criticism. Her controversial comments, particularly about co-star Gal Gadot in the original Snow White film, have turned her into a focal point of fan outrage. What was initially anticipated as a nostalgic homage to a beloved classic has now been labeled one of Disney's most divisive undertakings. The trailer itself, teasing a spring release, has ignited debates touching on sensitive topics like race, gender, and politics, discussions absent in the original 1,937 animated feature. These modern updates have triggered passionate reactions, with fans questioning whether the reinterpretation retains the magic of the original. One of the most controversial changes is the replacement of the iconic seven dwarves with CGI-created characters. While Disney claims it's an effort to avoid outdated stereotypes, many fans feel the move robs the story of its charm and authenticity. The dwarves were more than just supporting characters. They were integral to the heart and soul of the original tale. Their absence feels like a betrayal of what made Snow White so beloved. Rachel Zegler's harsh comments about the original Snow White only added fuel to the fire. She called the relationship between Snow White and Prince Charming creepy and stalker-like, sparking outrage among longtime fans who felt this critique disrespected a love story that has stood the test of time. To many, it wasn't just a critique, it was an attack on the heart of what made Snow White a classic. Many believe that this dynamic, in which Snow White dreams of finding true love and is ultimately saved by the prince, encapsulates the essence of the character and the story's timeless appeal. Ziegler's comments, combined with a perceived departure from the original's central themes, have left some fans feeling alienated. Moreover, her casting in the titular role has sparked additional debate, with critics questioning whether this version of Snow White truly honors the legacy of one of Disney's most iconic films. For those who hold the original close to their hearts, these creative choices feel more like a betrayal than a celebration of the classic. Rachel Zegler's casting as Snow White also ignited heated debates, particularly due to her Latina heritage. Some critics argued that this choice departed from the original depiction of Snow White, described in the Brothers Grimm fairy tale as having skin as white as snow. This sparked a broader conversation about Disney's commitment to diversity in casting and the balance between staying true to the original story and modernizing it. This decision became a flashpoint for criticism on social media, particularly among some right-wing commentators who use it to challenge Disney's ongoing efforts to prioritize diverse casting. In response to the backlash, Zegler addressed the criticism in a now-deleted tweet, firmly stating, "Yes, I am Snow White. No, I am not bleaching my skin for the role." While this bold response initially earned her praise for standing her ground, her subsequent remarks about the original film reignited controversy. One of her more polarizing comments included her suggestion to remove the romantic subplot from the story. Additionally, she jokingly mentioned cutting down her co-star Gal Gadot's role as the evil queen, a remark that did not sit well with fans who viewed it as dismissive of key elements that contributed to the original story's charm. For many, these changes seemed too radical, stripping away the heart of what made Snow White a timeless classic. Instead of building anticipation, these creative updates have left a significant portion of the audience feeling that the essence of the story is being compromised. A particular point of contention is Disney's attempt to reframe Snow White as a strong, independent leader. While the intention may have been to present a more modern, empowering narrative, some fans feel this reimagining detracts from what made the character relatable and endearing in the first place. One fan summed up this sentiment by stating, "Not every woman is a leader. Not every woman wants to be a leader. Not every woman craves power. And that's okay." These remarks highlight a broader concern that the film is forcing a narrative that doesn't resonate with everyone, particularly those who value the original themes of love, kindness, and personal growth. Another fan weighed in, expressing a deeper frustration with the shift in values. Just because a woman values something different, like love or kindness, doesn't make her any less valuable. For many, this speaks to the core of why the live-action remake feels out of touch. Fans fear that the film's attempt to modernize the story could alienate audiences by sidelining the qualities that made Snow White such a cherished character for generations. These criticisms underline the delicate balance Disney faces in trying to update a beloved classic while preserving its spirit. As the release date approaches, the Snow White remake has found itself under a growing cloud of skepticism. Many fans argue that the original film, which has remained popular for nearly a century, didn't need such sweeping changes to remain relevant. This sentiment has been echoed across social media, with one particularly biting critique aimed at Zegler herself. "If you hate the original this much, why would you want to make the remake?" The frustration stems from a belief that the reimagined version has strayed too far from the beloved classic, leaving fans wondering if this adaptation will ultimately honor the legacy of Disney's first animated masterpiece, or become another misstep in the company's recent history of divisive remakes. The controversies surrounding Snow White seem endless, with each new development adding fuel to the fire. Recently, the backlash over the portrayal of the dwarves took another turn when Disney's decision to use CGI magical creatures instead of traditional dwarves came under scrutiny. While the studio claimed it was an effort to be more inclusive and avoid stereotypes, fans criticized the decision for abandoning one of the most iconic aspects of the original story. Many felt that this attempt to modernize the film only made matters worse, as the CGI characters shown in the trailer appeared unsettling and lacked the charm of the beloved Seven Dwarves. Adding to the complications, the ongoing delays and production issues have further eroded fan confidence. Although Disney has attributed these setbacks to external factors like the SAG-AFTRA strikes, insiders and fans speculate that the studio is scrambling to rework elements of the film in response to the mounting criticism. Reports of reshoots paired with the controversy surrounding Rachel Zegler's comments and the alleged feud with Gal Gadot have painted a picture of a project that seems to be spiraling out of control. Even with the release of the trailer, Disney has struggled to shift the narrative. Instead of generating excitement, the preview only served to highlight the stark differences between the remake and the classic film, leaving fans feeling alienated. Viewers voiced their concerns about the absence of the original's whimsical tone, heartfelt storytelling, and, most notably, the dwarves, who have been reduced to mere CGI creations that fail to capture the magic of their animated counterparts. The film's marketing has also suffered, with Disney's PR team now fighting an uphill battle to salvage the movie's image. Branding experts like Carlos Spite have pointed out that this series of missteps has created a perfect storm of negative publicity. The off-screen drama, coupled with the controversial creative choices, has overshadowed the movie itself, making it increasingly difficult for audiences to focus on the story rather than the turmoil surrounding its production. As the release date approaches, the clock is ticking for Disney. Can the studio navigate through the chaos and deliver a film that resonates with audiences? Or will Snow White become another misstep in a series of controversial remakes? With so much on the line, Disney faces an uphill battle to prove this reimagined version is worth the time and money of fans who feel betrayed by the changes. Only time will tell if Disney can turn the tide, or if Snow White will be remembered more for its controversies than its content. As Snow White continues to spark heated debates, one thing is clear: This isn't the fairy tale Disney envisioned. The off-screen drama between Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, compounded by their clashing political stances, has cast a long shadow over the film. Fans are divided, with some calling for boycotts and others expressing disappointment in Disney's handling of the situation. The focus has shifted from the movie itself to the personal and political tensions dominating headlines, leaving the question, can Disney recover from this downward spiral? Even before its release, Snow White has become one of Disney's most controversial live-action adaptations. From the polarizing decisions regarding the dwarves and the reliance on CGI, to the very public feud between its lead actresses, the project has faced obstacle after obstacle. Fans are now left wondering, could a more cohesive cast or a different approach to the remake have saved this film from disaster? Would removing the political undertones have allowed the story to shine as it was meant to? And perhaps the biggest question, can Disney salvage its reputation as a leader in family-friendly entertainment amidst these growing controversies? As the release date approaches, the pressure on Disney is immense. Will Snow White manage to win over audiences despite the drama, or will it go down as a cautionary tale about the dangers of mixing politics and entertainment? The fate of this film rests on the studio's ability to refocus attention on the story rather than the headlines surrounding it. What are your thoughts on this unfolding drama? Do you think Disney should have handled things differently, or are these controversies inevitable in today's social climate? Could Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot's public feud have been avoided altogether? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your take. Want more insider scoops on all the latest entertainment drama? Don't miss out. Click the next video to get all the details. See you there.